Welcome back. My name is Aaron Lanning, your favorite realtor. Make sure you download our relocation guide, links below. I live in Menifee and I love Menifee, but today we're talking about why you might not want to move to Menifee. Well, to me, Menifee may seem like a great place to live with its warm weather climate, affordable cost of living compared to some other places in California, but there are several reasons why you may want to think twice before making the move. And in this video, we're going to explore 5 reasons why you might not want to move to Menifee. Now, I want to say I did just have a meeting with the amazing economic development director for the city, Gina. So I will address some of the things, I will address what I learned in some of these points that might affect the future of the city in a good way. First up, point number 1, poor air quality. Now, this is kind of a bait and switch point, and stay with me. I've seen other YouTube realtors say that Menifee has poor air quality, so I wanted to address it because they say this with zero facts. So besides there being some mountains around us, they've mentioned that that's blocking some airflow. So when you look at the AQI, the air quality index, the AQI is consistently 37, which is 0 to 50 is considered good with little to no risk. So you can also see here that there are several air stations that monitor the AQI in other cities around Menifee. I included this point because even though there's clean air here, there's tons of traffic and an occasional fire, maybe 1 to 2 per year, that the fire might be 30 to 40 miles away, but that drastically affects air quality for a few days or weeks. Keep in mind, a fire is not only affecting Menifee, but the whole area. So this is something to think about if you're just moving to the whole area in general. Number 2, limited job opportunities. So Indeed.com says there's 800 plus jobs available in Menifee. The jury is out on that, to be honest, if that's true. In my opinion, there is limited job opportunities in the city of Menifee, and this often results in long commutes and increased traffic for those who live here and then work elsewhere. So to me, this point's 100% true. Most people commute to San Diego, Orange County, or Los Angeles County for work, or work in the warehouses in Paris, which is just the next city north of Menifee, and they're building a lot of warehouses there. According to recent data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor, Menifee had an estimated total of 34,800 jobs as of August 2021. While that may seem like a decent amount, it's important to note that the job market in Menifee is relatively limited, with a few dominant industries accounting for large portions of those jobs. The top industries in Menifee include retail, trade, healthcare, social assistance, accommodation, and food services. If you're into selling stuff, taking care of people, or cooking up a storm, Menifee might just be the place for you. But if you're looking for a wide range of job opportunities, Menifee might not be the best yet. Now, I do think after we had that Menifee Masters meeting with the Economic Development Director, Gina Gonzalez, and there's so much good things in the works already approved for new jobs, new developments, and some that are also just in the design phase that will be coming. So the job landscape of Menifee, I think, will look dramatically different in a few years or sooner. Point number 3, events and activities. So there isn't a ton of events and activities that really appeal to me. This can make it difficult to find entertainment and engage with the community. I'm not really into an outdoor movie event or yoga at the park, so I'm kind of torn on this point because I think the city definitely tries to do a good job there, and the majority of things that are planned just don't really appeal to me, and I'm often going outside of the city for thrilling, fun things to do. Now, every month, Menifee puts out an email, 5 to 10 PDFs and links for certain activities for all ages that happen throughout the community. And I see these bulletins and I post them on my social media, but none of them really fit what I like to do except for the flea market stuff where people try to sell their local goods, or Foodie Friday. Now, Menifee often uses Mount San Jacinto campus for their big events, 4th of July, Thanksgiving, Harvest kind of festival theme, and then their Christmas event. I do like these a lot, and I appreciate the city what they do, and I think they do a good job. But again, I think the events and activities in a few years will be dramatically different. This is just a personal preference on the events that they do put out, but I do think in a few years, as Menifee's population just surpassed Temecula, that they are trying to make this city not only a place where you want to live, but where you want to play and staycation here as well. I'll be doing a whole nother video on the direction of Menifee, so stay tuned for that. But if you like concerts or circuses that come through the area, you're gonna have to go to Temecula or the Del Mar Fair. And then if you like water parks like me, I will say Drop Zone Water Park is just 15 to 20 minutes away, but I'm often driving further to go to Irvine for the new water park Wild Rivers, or Los Angeles, and or some things in San Diego for other fun things to do. But this will change, in my opinion, pretty soon, or get better. Number 4, weather. Menifee can get hotter than jalapeno pepper in the middle of summer, and this can be very uncomfortable for some. In fact, Menifee's climate is classified as a hot summer Mediterranean climate, which means it can get pretty toasty. The exact definition of this climate is a climate distinguished by warm, wet winters under prevailing westerly winds and calm, hot, dry summers, as is the characteristic of the Mediterranean region and parts of California, Chile, South Africa, southwestern Australia. Now, the hottest months are July and August, which often get into 90+ degrees, and a few times Menifee has been known to experience scorching heat waves that push temperatures into the triple digits. Doesn't happen often, but if you don't want a hot summer, don't move here. Number 5, we have taxes. The city has an overall higher property tax rate than neighboring cities. The base property tax is actually lower than other cities, but when you factor in Melrose and or CFD, which is Community Facilities Districts, and other special assessments, that base rate of 1.01 goes to 1.8 or 2.1 real quick. So just breaking down the property taxes real fast, Melrose is a type of special tax that is used to finance infrastructure and public facilities in newly developed areas. In Menifee, some areas may have Melrose taxes that are used to pay for things like roads, schools, parks. Now, when you talk about CFD or Community Facility District, this is a specific type of Melrose. And that development that's getting taxed is a specific type of Melrose district that is used to finance public infrastructure and services within a designated area. So property owners within the CFD are assessed a special tax to fund these facilities and services. I would say CFD is just a more focused system in taxes received that go to something very local and specific. And then special assessments are fees levied on property owners to pay for specific improvements or services within their neighborhood or district. These assessments can be one-time charges or reoccurring fees. The biggest difference between Melrose and or CFDs and special assessments is special assessments taxes are bonds financed by property owners to improve infrastructure items, while Melrose and CFD taxes are assessed into your property taxes as a way to finance things related to community events, fire stations, parks, splash pads in some developments. An example of a special assessment infrastructure item is every development has some sort of watershed where water runs into to avoid homes if there's excessive flooding, like this specific watershed here by Paloma High School. And the thinking is, in the event of a 100-year flood, should we ever have something so devastating, that this infrastructure will limit the damage to our area and our property. So in Menifee, the specific taxes, fees, and assessments that apply to our property can vary on its location and other factors, as we just got done talking about. And if you have any questions about the taxes and assessments for a specific property in Menifee, you can contact the Riverside County Treasurer Tax Collector's Office or contact me. I'm all over it. And most Melrose/CFD and or reoccurring special assessment fees often last only 20 to 25 years until the bonds that were initially purchased are paid off. But by law, they are allowed to extend up to 40 years. So if you're buying a Menifee, you will often get a newer home with a newer community because of these taxes. If you really don't want that, then Murrieta, Temecula often have lower taxes because many communities have hit that 20 to 25 year mark for their bonds to be paid off. So older homes and established communities versus newer homes and newer communities. And number 6, bonus point, current school setup. Obviously, there are both public and private schools in Menifee. The public schools in Menifee are part of the Menifee Union School District, MUSD, and the Paris Union School District, PUHSD. Let me explain. The Menifee Union School District oversees the elementary and middle schools, while the Paris Union High School District oversees the high schools. As of this video, and according to schools.org, there are a total of 4 preschools, 18 elementary schools, 14 middle schools, and 10 high schools in Menifee. But that is a Google list on schools.com of anything, public or private, that mentions the words high school or school. Here in Menifee, you really have Paloma Valley High School and the newer Liberty High School, which isn't even listed on their website. So I definitely would question the accuracy of their website. There are also several private schools and charters in the area. Now, the city of Menifee has met 6 out of the 9 criteria points on unification. Again, we'll talk much more about this later, but unification might be coming as early as November 5th, 2024. And that's when the first election for unification would happen, for Menifee to have its own school district K through 12. But if you're not a fan of having 2 school districts in charge of the K through 12 process right now and would rather have one union, then until this gets changed, you might not want to move to Menifee. But hopefully this changes soon. That's all I have for you today. Please like, follow, subscribe if this video has helped you learn more about Menifee and the surrounding area.